Hello everybody, and of course welcome back to Dickie's Videos, where no war game remains unplayed. Further ado, here we are again with another battle overview. This is of course for the King of the Hill tournament, brought to you by the Wargaming Gentlemen. Please click the links below towards their site. They're a site of friendly women and men playing in a wargaming community, and this is my recording all my games, but also doing a battle overview at the end of it. So remember, I'm playing Vikings. Currently, we are at round 4, so we've lost once and we've won 2 times. Yes, so we're 1 out of 3. We've got 2 lives in this, and we're coming against the Viking versus Breton, round 4. Wow. This is what happened. So this is the terrain as you can see it. Of course, there is a massive heap of rough terrain to the right, open to the left. Unfortunately, my cavalry, the Viking cavalry, does not match against Breton cavalry. So I decided quite initially to push the attack on the hill. So as you can see, we are on the right side with this big hill. We've got our, as you can see, we do have our berserkers to the right side here, ready to push on up with the, of course, the archers. But I've got to say that I'm bricking it here. As you can see, he's got massed archers in the rear. He's got a whole heap of lancer cavalry. The one thing I've got to do here, of course, is take the hill and keep pushing. As you can see on that far left side on the place, he has a ton of, what's that, 5 units of cavalry, and if I was to try to match him with my 2 units of noble cavalry, my housecarls on thing, it would be a bad day. So we finally decide to go to the right side. I think, no, he's got 6-7 units of cavalry, so here I'm bricking it. Oh, do you know what? Because it's been such a while since I played this, it's hard. I can't remember what happens. So we realised the hill is where we need to be on this right side. We need to be battering and taking this and pushing over as much as possible. This is the his weakness in this whole thing. So remember, when we're coming against anti-cavalry tactics, especially Norman cavalry, Breton, anything English with lancers and armoured, the fact is, don't charge it. Just zone of control it out. If you can go without charging it, but if you feel you're in an advantage or a good situation where you can actually charge it, and then counter cavalry it. But never charge it with your defensive spearmen, because they are going to lose that POA advantage to the impact straight away. And as you can see here, we just move extremely to the right side, trying to get to the hill. And you can see I'm just trying to keep my housecarls protected in the centre, but also at the front they are the hitting force, where they're going to hopefully but this battle, how long did this battle go for? 44 minutes, so it's a long video for us here. So I'm gonna skip ahead so far, but as you can see, the battle has been set. He's got a good line, but he doesn't have the dismounted lancers. He just has 2 units of dismounted lancers, but the most of it is just a mix of crossbowmen. I think is it offensive or defensive spearmen the Bretons get? But as you can see, I'm counting here how long it will take me to get to this. We had a little bit of a pop up there in our computer. And as you see, the light fight, this is, I think, the most important thing here when I was playing this game was, of course, the light fight on the hill. I didn't care, of course I care about the main fight, but the early mid game was all about getting this hill advantage. Then berserkers are going to cause him so much. My issue is he outnumbers me regardless. The fact is, I need to actually think, oh god, that cavalry, look at it, look at the cavalry. I was shitting balls here, really. But you got to keep cool with it. Keep cool with it as it goes. Like I said, you've seen this video already, because I've always posted the day before I post my review, and I'll get a lucky push. My thing is to hack away as much as possible. Hopefully we can block him up. The problem is the crossbowmen stay, and I'm going, I need the hill. Sorry, I'm just people posting on my phone. I'm recording. Everybody interrupts me. Oh, I can go away. Okay. So, as you can see, a couple of disrupted units on the hill, but there is one mission in mind, and that is, of course, just to keep pushing. Any fragmentations, anything like here is going to be brilliant at this moment in time. We just want to keep pushing over the evade, and I'm thinking here, we are getting so lucky. And the berserkers, particularly not getting damaged in the early mid-game, because we're on, what, turn 3 here. My cavalry has just got to keep pushing. I want to get my cavalry over that hill on that right side where he doesn't have cavalry. Now this is where I talk about flipping the field. I want to move most of my Huskarls and my Huskarls to the front to be used their excellent armour and excellent POA. So this is what I've got to do: is flip the field to my advantage. You see, the when I look at a battlefield, it's in two halves straight away. The problem is, you can change that if you want. You can change the direction of that, where that pivot on that battlefield is. If you set the tempo in an early, particularly where an enemy has to react to your movement, because I find he has to now sway a lot of his units from his left flank to my centre. But we're doing really well at pushing. But of course, he's got some archers there, which of course are going to get absolutely mauled. They're now on the difficult slope, ready to get hacked up. But really enjoy this. We're probably going to look at most of this battle because this is one of the fun battle I actually played. And this has been a while since I actually gone. We've completed this. I'm not going to say who wins, but I'm going to go through this regardless. Vikings, I like Vikings. Just a solid faction. Of course, here comes the cavalry. A huge amount of cavalry there. I just can't deal with that. I mean, the way I deal with it is I have to look at it. But as you can see, a great proportion, I'd say, I mean, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 units of his army there in the main line is archers, and most of mine, all mine actually, even are combat troops, barring the light troops, of course. There we go. There's a flank attack with the berserkers. They are going to hurt him. Absolutely hurt him. And we've got to be careful here, that my scouts are my berserkers are in a particularly weak position. But I started to dominate the light fight here. You set that tempo. I'm trying to just evade him into the river here. I'm trying to get a little bit clever, but unfortunately it doesn't work. And I think here, we've got all that rough terrain. We just got to use it to our advantage against his dismounted lancers, and just pushing as we go. So particularly, it's a difficult list here. And then I've realised now that on this little corner here, there is actually a hill. There is actually a hill there. So the fact is that his units are now here. Do have an extra POA because of this. I think it's like 20 out of 25, but I think it's enough to change the balance in his favour, and still not particularly great for me. Okay, so as we're pulling up as much as possible, trying to outmaneuver. We've turned now to the left side. Cavalry, I think I decided to turn the cavalry back, but yes I do, but literally I've got a nice slightly POA advantage of the small hill in between us there, but of course it's just now just hammering away. Swull I've played before, he's a very good player and he's beat me loads of times, but I think a lot of things I think sometimes luck, of course, does factor in a battle, and sometimes even if you've particularly got everything down to a T, you could have bad luck. But he's beat me more than I've ever beat him. But that's the quick crumbles. And of course, here we are with the archer fire coming down off that hill. We've got to be careful because I think he starts trying to negate and start to damage a lot of my units here. But there we are. The cavalry coming up. Speedy, what's that? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that 10 units? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's like 10 units of cavalry there. I mean, the river really negates it. If this was an open field, this would not have gone my way. There goes the archers, which is great for me. Just got to come on down to Chinatown here, really, with them berserkers, because they are just going to make a mess of everything. And also that rough terrain on that right side is a natural barrier for it as well. I'm kind of laughing here a little bit. I'm just trying to now just charge down all of his lights to that right side because it's. I think I'm thinking about trying to go for the dismounted lancers, but there we go. Break again. It's just like, yeah, we're on that hill. It was a push for that hill straight away. That was the main hill. I think we decided to try and charge here, see how far we go. And I think I charge, and I think then the berserkers go like, oh, off you go, lads. But then, of course, remember, he's got 3 units of lights to that right side. And of course, going to be. So we're going to skip it ahead ever so slightly to 15-minute mark. I think I timed it, where the main engagement starts. As you can see on the centre hill point, there is things, and then of course, like I said, the berserker's getting shot here. He shifts them around. The initial attack with the heavy weapon berserkers are there, heavy weapon huskarls are there, but not to my advantage because he's got that higher ground defensive spearman. But the cavalry, like I said, I ain't bothered about it. It can sit there all day long. And now he's stuck the unit. He's got a unit behind his unit which can't fall back. So that's there till the cows come home. And it's me just now blocking it up. He's changing now the direction of my units towards that side. So I've got to be careful because they could drop. But sometimes gut feeling when I'm doing stuff like games like this is what I need to do. It's very much particular, but he's got so much cavalry. But I've just got to now pull my units cavalry to that left side. To be honest, it was good that I did that to block, and I think I tried to drop a general in there or something, but I can't. I think it's too far. And then we just go, look, POA is all in my advantage. Impact's not, but it's going to really hurt. Now we just got to literally we've just got to bog him. Like I said, it's a win for us. It's a grinding battle. Once that cavalry is in combat, it is now a grinding battle. And I've got a couple of units in reserves there. Send the cavalry around. We've just got to now keep pummeling that right side. And there we go. We think we can charge in there. Berserkers, challenge with, they're all about the impact. They're about the impact. If they don't get the impact and they win on the impact, there's very little point. Keep charging down. I'm trying to get him as much as possible here. I think the archers actually rallied. I forgot about that. I can't remember how I broke them again. You see, regardless there, I don't mind if I lose with the berserkers as long as they stay there a couple of turns. And it is now just, I've got nasty combats there that particularly aren't in my favour. Harsh. It's pretty bleak against them dismounted lancers. They're all in that position. Sorry, I did think he had 4 units of mounted lancers. I thought I counted. No, he's got 4 units of dismounted lancers. I mean, they are offensive spearmen, aren't they? Yeah, they are offensive, but armoured and superior. Very much a defensive battle. But once things start getting engaged, the archers are irrelevant. They're irrelevant because we're just hacking away. We're not trying to outshoot or outmaneuver anymore. We're just hitting him. And this is where I decide the cavalry has to go to the left. But like I said, if he's stuck in combat with me, we've changed the tempo here. But regardless of that, I'm still very, very unsure about this. Good rally in the rear, I think, for his light unit that are out of the way. Okay, we're going to slip to the 20-minute mark. As you can see, most things have engaged or pushed back. He got a good couple of charges with his cavalry, which negated, which dropped me there. And I'm trying to think of a way to bloody shoot them up there or block them. Just got to hold that line. The main thing is holding that line with coherency. The one time I let that slip is where we get destroyed. This is where I decide, I can try and do a flank charge. But he just keeps getting pushed back. Like I said, there you go, the push. That's the reason you don't charge the Lancer Cavalry. Is because you will lose the impact 9 times out of 10. There might be an odd time where it's indecisive with the numbers, but most of the time there you are going to lose. So I decide here that we are going to have to push forward. We're going to chuck our eggs. If we let the combats go as they are with the dismounted lancers against the shield wall offensive, we will lose. Just hack away time. We lost that, and I was like bricking it. We had to change this POA. He would have broke through on that corner. It would have been bad days. I think a lot of his generals drop. The one thing that he spoke to me on was a lot of his generals did drop. And it was like a couple of turns of most of his generals dropping, which was harsh for him. But sometimes, you got to take the rough. I mean, I'll lose probably more games on Field of Glory 2 and that than I do actually win. The problem is just getting back on that horse, that metaphorical horse, and enjoying the game. Like any war game or RTS game, you're going to have bad days and good days. But I noticed the game very much in a couple of turns sways towards my favour. And it's then just me picking up where I want to attack. Especially this right side, I think, was the factor in this thing. Me pushing that right side. Here we go. Heaven's sake, the general was falling as soon as farts in the general direction. Oh, you gotta love people. But like I said, Swull is a fantastic opponent, and I'd say better than me. But I think I had a solid plan what I wanted to do, and I think that right side probably did put a lot more pressure onto his line than would have happened. But that's the way it is. I mean, the light fight, the berserker fight where my head is here, is getting quite brutal. But that was me putting that pressure on initially in that initial turns. But it's nice to retrospectively look back at the battle, and I'm glad I can kind of look back at it and go, yeah, I really did well there, or I did particularly poor. I got to say, I do more poor than I do actually better in this game. Let's see where his generals died and see what difference that made. But I've got to change these POA multiplier advantages. The fact is, a lot of these units are negatively engaged. The fact is, a lot of them aren't in a really good position, or they've been shot up by the archers. I was happy that he kept charging and I kept repulsing him back. One thing, it repulses him back, I don't get disrupted, but also he is being pushed back. So here, this is what I did here. Look, watch. Where's the general who died? I think it's the guy with the dismounted lancers in the corner. No, it wasn't. Ooh, a couple of old firms there. We got really lucky. But like any of these games, they end... Oh, there you go, on that corner. But that changes... Remember, that changes the... I think it was... I don't know if that was a sub-general or the general, but it was like... It changes the POA advantage there slightly. So, you know, that and the disrupted unit rallies there. So particularly can't complain there at all. So, and then we go, come on, let's go to Chinatown, block them in. And then just it's for the flank attack there, which is possible. So block with the infantry and then move with limited cavalry forces. But still happy with it. Negated 10 units of his cavalry. Particularly if I would let them run rampant, we would have been dead. So we did a very good push there. Okay, we're going to skip to the 35 mark and the 32 mark. Okay, so we've got a couple of good fragments on his line. Do you know what? I think I've gone a bit too further than I should have. Yeah, this is where it is, because this is where things start to just more turn to my favour. So the flank attacks happen with that cavalry, where we pushed in. Of course, I'm getting fragmented with some of even the general units, but we are literally hacking him up. We got really lucky here. But then the fact is, it was just the hold-ups, what we could do. And there goes the fragment. And I think everybody's back through here as much as they can. Dominating the light. The dismounted lancers have gone. The unit of defensive spearmen on the right have gone. And now it's just... I feel this is, like I said, this is now the tipping point. Still 1% each, still could fly away. I think it's maybe slight ineffective use. There's the auto break. And I don't think anyone gets disrupted from that. That is a key factor. A lot of these units do drop, and it's like, well, we're not. Nobody else drops with them. And it's, of course, the little holes that start appearing in his line, especially with the fragmented unit there, which drops. Does that actually disrupt anybody else? Yes, it disrupts the guys on the hill, which is lucky as well, because it negates their POA advantage of the battle there. You see there's a couple of we're ready to charge on the flank with the berserkers on the right, but as you can see, he's multiplying, fragmented as well. So, and his cavalry coming over on that right side. But we can block it up with the shield wall on there. But getting messy on the right, messy on that centre line, it's going particularly. And then, of course, that unit of dismounted armoured lancers is getting mashed. I would stay for this entire 40 minutes. The cavalry that got flanked now fragmented, but of course our cavalry unit getting actually hammered, which it would do. And there's the break, which is great. That was quite rhythmic. So we'll probably... Oh, here comes his counter charge with the cavalry. Just bouncing back all day long. And I'm happy for them to bounce back all the way from rally on my archers to the right. I've actually brought in the rabble from which I hid in the trees. I think, do I break them here? We do break them here, so we do push forward. Disrupting the cavalry, laughing. But that, unfortunately, that berserker unit its thing, and it's a acceptable loss that I needed to chuck in there. The fact is it? And there go the dismounted lancers. Nope, hold firm. I think did the break here. You see, it's all the disruption they're bringing to the back line with the archers there. So we're going to just flip to the 40-minute, and we'll probably watch the last 4 minutes. So most of the line is broken up right now. Of course, the archers, the crossbowmen are... Oh, God, that was the unlucky double drop there on that hill. And then this is where it starts to cascade with a lot. So when you think about it, when the front line breaks, everybody else breaks below. Behind that, so you see on the hill we've got fragmented and then disrupted. Just keep pushing, and we just hold the line slightly better than he did. And I think the contributing factors, of course, is the 2 points in the battle is the block of the cavalry, but of course the block of the right. We are starting to break as much on the left side, but we're just big units of infantry, big units of supported infantry that could block things up pretty well. The issue is it's just holding. It's that holding coherency. I think if we were in an open battlefield, this would have been a tougher ride for me. But as you can see, the points are starting to slowly mount towards the Viking as we come into the last couple of minutes of the game. We've got 3 minutes left. But I got to say, not an easy game for me at all. It took all of my brain power. There we go straight for the fragmented unit. Hopefully it drops cohesion for everybody else. But the lancers are superior, but we have blocked them up with the unit of defensive spearmen on the right. Please pause this if you miss it. And there you go, expensive units of cavalry. Now it's just a case of just now changing it up and missing it around. Fragmented. Hold firm. Here we go again. You see that impact. It's all about that impact. We can't particularly do very much about it. People texting me as well. And the push back forward, easy peasy. Now the berserkers. Remember the key point. I think there's 2 points, like I said, but then maybe an optional third. The terrain on the right, blocking the cavalry, but also then berserkers. Of course, so much trouble for him on that right side that if they weren't there, if they were just generally on that main line, they would not have particularly done anything. So now it's just a clearing up action. But like I said again, and I keep repeating this, Swull is a fantastic player. That archer line just faded more than anything else. The problem is with the archer line, they unfortunately just took the cohesion check straight behind. They were straight behind them. And there you go. Look at that again. Pure example. Don't charge that Lancer Cavalry. Zone it out of control. And when you think you have the better advantage, I'm trying to think of some posh word here. There we go. And we're going to come down to the last minute. You see the dismounted Lancers are brutal. They are particularly a great unit. But now I think everything is just outnumbered and outpositioned. But that's not his fault. That's just, unfortunately, the unluck of the units here. Yeah, thank you. And good luck on this is where we win. And he goes off. But harsh game. Congrats to my opponent. It was difficult. But them couple of factors that changed up the tempo and the position of the field. Whoo! Bad day for everybody here. Love the Viking list though. Solid list, but you can play it wrong. You can play it wrong quite easily. There we go. So, a couple of key, like we said, with the points. The hill, blocking the cavalry. Even though he had that hill, which gave him some advantage, didn't give him too much advantage. Wow, what a battle. Got to say, really fun battle, really difficult, but really rewarding. Click that like, click that subscribe button, and hopefully we'll see you on another battle review very soon. Have a great day.